Okay, hello folks, this is Wrestling101. This is our very first show. Our whole meaning of this show is to talk about the world of wrestling. We're big, huge wrestling fans. I myself used to wrestle. My friend Jay here, he's a big wrestling fanatic. I mean, he's watched it since he was a kid. He practically lived through the 80 era to the 90 to 2000 to now. I watched it same as he did. What we're going to do is talk about some topics, and feel free on our YouTube channel to make comments yourself on what you think, because we'd love to hear feedback of our show and on wrestling, your own opinion on what's going on. Right now, I want to start off with this thing that they're doing on Raw. They had a thing with Zack Ryder where he caught John Cena kissing Eve, his girlfriend, and then they killed it the next week. I don't really understand what their concept was of this. I don't know if they want their golden boy to get one pulled over on him or what. I don't find it. I just don't find it right that you start a storyline like that and then you proceed to get on and you're like, okay, she's going to do this, and then you cut it off because you're thinking, okay, they're going to start a feud with Zack Ryder and John Cena, which I think Ryder has done an excellent job on his own, making his own character.
He got himself over. I mean, that's really something that's hard to do. Not very many guys will go to the lengths that he went to. I mean, he went to social media. He wasn't being used on TV at all. He went to social media. He went to YouTube, and he got himself over. And the fans wanted him so bad. I think he was on the verge of the future endeavor, you know. But he got himself so over, and the fans were so much in demand of him that Vince pretty much just didn't have a choice but to start something with him. And since, you know, John Cena was his biggest push as far as his biggest supporter, then that's, you know, naturally they would start a storyline with him.
I'm just wondering though, if this wasn't Cena. I'm not a big fan of Cena. I'm not gonna sit here and bashing, but what would be the problem with Cena giving one match to put over Zack Ryder? I mean, if you look back in history, you had Kurt Angle put over, you know, John Cena.
Right.
You had Undertaker
over the Rock, put the Rock over.
You know, it's his time. It's his time to put somebody over.
Right.
And WWE is failing. I heard that they was taking signs away, anything that was negative about John Cena at the last. I wasn't there. I don't know. But what we read is what's on the internet, what people post. But I think that's wrong.
It is.
They're shoving, WWE's shoving him in our face.
For over 10 years now, they've been shoving John Cena down our throat.
Let the kids, you know, run wild with John Cena, that's fine. But we're in an era, I think it's time to bring back the Punk era. I mean, CM Punk, not to get off the whole Eve storyline, but CM Punk has put his ass on the line, and pardon my language, but you're going to hear it. He put his ass on the line for this company and has went out and worked day in and day out to become what he is. And then I remember when he first started, and they started this thing with him and Kevin Nash. Triple H steps up, pushes him off to the side, and finishes the storyline. I don't understand. They should have let CM Punk go out and put him out.
Right.
I understand friends, whatever.
Right. What did Triple H have to gain from that one-shot deal match with Kevin Nash, and now he's gone, and now he's back to his Legends deal? It made no sense at all. Triple H doesn't need those. Well, we'll get to the Triple H and Undertaker thing later, but yeah, Triple H didn't need that. So CM Punk could have used that notch. But you know, the Kevin Nash thing was dead before it started, because this generation, they don't know who Kevin Nash is. I mean, WWE.com had to put their videos of who is Kevin Nash and the history of Kevin Nash. So a lot of the younger kids in this generation, they don't remember the NWO, and most of them didn't watch TNA to know who he was in TNA. They just saw him pop up in WWE, and they're like, who's this old guy?
You know, a lot of people probably won't agree with me, but, and Kevin Nash, if you ever watch this, by all means, I'm not kissing your ass, but Kevin Nash will go down as one of the best, I'm not going to say greatest, but best big man
Oh,
in
right.
the business.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He'll probably be a Hall of
He paid his
Famer.
dues. He went from WWE to WCW. He was champion in both.
He was the biggest part of the biggest angle in wrestling history with the NWO.
I just think it was CM Punk's time to put down the old dog. But that's my opinion. I hope a lot of you agree with me. But back to our main topic. I know we got away from it.
Yeah, sorry, folks.
Wrestling, WWE, TNA, both kill storylines before they even get started.
Right.
Before we even get interested in it, and that's not right.
I don't care much for Eve. Her in-ring ability, it is improving somewhat, but she's not exciting to watch by any means. A storyline would do her some good, I would say, especially with the main event guys. I don't understand. They had, a decent thing going with the thing with her and Zack Ryder. I don't understand killing the whole thing in one night. Talking to the Bellas on Raw about how she was using Zack Ryder and getting ready to use Cena, and she turns around, Cena's right there, and that pretty much just finishes the whole storyline. Obviously it's a heel turn for Eve, but how far is that push really going to go? Because nobody takes the Divas business seriously anyway.
Exactly.
But they could have kept going with that, and that could have led into a John Cena and Zack Ryder feud, which I'd be into, I guess. But I'm just getting tired of the teasing the John Cena heel turn. Just like the feud with John Cena and Kane. What was that? That was stupid. Cena didn't need a feud with Kane. Kane could have, put somebody else over.
Honestly, I would have threw Kane in there against Ted DiBiase, and this is why I'm saying this, because Ted DiBiase is one of my favorite newcomers, if you want to call him new, out there, because he has the skill, he has the look, and my opinion is I don't understand why he ain't up there, but the great list Cody Rhodes is.
Right. Well, we know why Cody Rhodes is up there.
Not saying anything bad about Cody and his in-ring ability, but I think Ted DiBiase Jr. is by far better than Cody Rhodes, and he needs a storyline. They could have got him in there. They kill him. They kill him right off the bat. 2 years ago, you would have thought that Ted DiBiase was up there and could feud with Kane. Now they've killed his character so much, so bad, put him down so low. It's sickening, because now if he'd fight Kane, you'd say, okay, Kane's going to beat him in 2 seconds.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I think
these new guys that are on the roster that I think deserve it, they keep pushing them back, and eventually they're going to fade away, and they're going to end up in TNA and become good stars. Big stars. And WWE can't afford that, even though they want to say, oh, we don't need this on TNA, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you keep feeding TNA the food, they're going to grow.
Right. We'll get to the TNA subject later, too. But the thing is, Vince, what I read quite some time ago, Vince will get behind these guys. And CM Punk, obviously, is an exception right now. Vince will get behind these guys for just a little bit, but then he gets scared and I'll tell you why, is because of the whole Brock Lesnar incident, where they got so behind Brock Lesnar and pushed him so hard, world champ, blah, 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 and then he decides one day he don't want to do it no more and he wants to quit. And that's why Vince gets so scared to push these guys, because he's afraid that they're going to do the same thing.
Well, Vince got to realize that there's guys in this business that are sticking in here, like DiBiase, who has been embarrassed, beat, ran in the ground. We're still there.
Right.
Push them.
I don't think DiBiase would consider a TNA jump, but I wouldn't, completely rule it out, because his dad did do something with TNA years ago, I believe.
The way I look at it, though, if nothing to take away from Bobby Roode, if he can be a heavyweight champion in TNA, Ted DiBiase damn sure can.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Bobby Roode,
Like I said,
he's been around for a while, though. I mean, he's paid his dues. I don't think he should have went over Cowboy James Storm, because James Storm's been there. They've been there just about the same amount of time. They both pretty much started with the company when the company was coming up. But yeah, I don't think Cowboy got a fair run with his title run.
Not to completely change the subject, I read something here on one of these websites that touched on something here about Rey Mysterio having heat with the WWE management.
Really?
I'm not really sure why. I'm not a huge Rey fan, but my son is. The man was hurt. Every time he comes back too quick, he gets put out quick.
Right.
He's taking his time to come back, and apparently they're not happy with his contract negotiation.
Is he getting greedy?
I'm not really sure what the situation is, but Rey Mysterio is a figure. You just like The Rock, just like Stone Cold, just like Triple H. You can send him out to the ring. Don't even have to say his name, and kids know who he is. Grown-ups know who he is. He's in the past been phenomenal. I can't deny his ability in ring.
Right.
I know he's getting older, but
how many more knee surgeries can the poor guy take? I mean,
he's going to make his way out in the near future, but
right. Well,
why give him grief? He showed up at Raw.
He's very low.
Last week. He wasn't on camera. He was backstage.
Right.
He talked to people. He's trying to come back, and then management's mad at him because he ain't back yet. Because he ain't. That's the problem. That's why wrestlers are getting put out.
Right, and that's probably why he goes out.
Superstars, because they're wrestlers. That's what they are. They're wrestlers.
They're not sports entertainers. But that's probably why he goes out so quick, because he's pushed so hard to come back so soon after his injuries, and then he doesn't have the full time to recover, and he comes back, and months later to a year or two later, he's hurt again. But yeah, the Rey Mysterio thing, I understand that there was supposed to be, before his injury, a big push for WrestleMania this year of try to break the Guinness World Record for the most masks in one arena at the same time, and it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio with Sin Cara. Now Mysterio says he's going to be back by WrestleMania, but now Sin Cara's out. I think the smartest thing to do was take Hunico, because his character is pretty much a dead duck floating in the water, pretty much. He rides a bicycle to the ring, for crying out loud. But they need to put him back in the Sin Cara mask, and then they can still do the Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara thing. I don't know. I mean, let me know what you think, but I think he made a pretty good Sin Cara. I mean, he's now in this gimmick he's got now, he doesn't really get to showcase all of his high flying abilities and whatnot.
To me, we've sat around talking about this, about TNA using WWE stuff, and you can see the similarities in it. This is just their characters remind me so much of what is on TNA, the Mexican Americans.
Yeah.
It's almost mirror image of what they do, other than the bicycle they ride out.
Right.
It's almost a joke, really. But I'm not going to get into all this talk about them, because to be honest with you, they haven't impressed me. The only time that he has impressed me is when he was Sin Cara.
Right.
He played Sin Cara better than the original Sin Cara.
I think they could have kept up the whole Sin Cara and the Sin Cara Negro thing, and just kept them both as good versus evil. I think they could have kept that around for a little bit longer. I was entertained by that, and they had a pretty decent match. And then that was the end of it. And now he's Hunico and rides a bicycle in the ring.